Hey guys, Lisa Callaghy here to show you how to set up your group session in Study Island. And we're highlighting the Space Race, or it's just called Race, but it's in space, group session for you. So right here, if you see, I'm on my class page and assignment. So to initiate that group session, we click on Add Assignment. Okay. And then the second tab is for your group session. So we have three different types of group sessions. Today we are going to be creating a race group session. So I'm going to click on create assignment. All right. So we have three tabs we have to go through here. The first one is our general info tab. So I'm going to go through each one of these pieces here for you so that you understand what is required and the choices that you have. So the first thing we need to do is an assignment title. I'm right now going to put Space Race just to remind myself what type of group session this particular assignment is. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of the assignment title with the topic once I go and choose my topic. So I'll come back to this tab after I'm in the assignment options tab. So leaving that assignment title right now, I'm going to come back down to where it says select from practice topics or a built test library. So if there is a test that has already been built, you can utilize that test in this type of format, the group session. So either choose either or. I'm going to keep my practice topics going right now. And then you have the choice of either having Study Island choose the questions for you, or you can choose the questions that's from the Study Island bank of questions under a specific topic if you'd like. So right now I'm going to do no, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what yes looks like to everybody. All right, scrolling down, we have our advanced options section. Okay, so we have a choice to enable a timer. Now, a timer is kind of important in a race because obviously the amount of time it takes somebody to answer a question will significantly impact their results. So I'm going to keep this timer on, but you do have the option of turning it off. So I don't know, depending on the topic that you choose or your students that you have, you at least you have the option to keep the timer on or off. What's even better is the fact that you can choose how long students get to answer that question before it automatically moves on to the next question. And that would be Study Island doing that, not the teacher. So you have anywhere from 5 seconds for students to answer a question all the way up to 300 seconds, which I believe is 5 minutes. So we can choose that with this slider. I'm going to keep it here at 30 seconds and then come down to our next option, enable nickname generator. Now, this is important because sometimes you don't want students to see other students their information, such as where they rank maybe within the group as the students are answering questions. Now, this is when you say when it says nickname generator, students will choose a nickname, but you as a teacher will know which student belongs to which nickname. So it's only really hiding it for the names of the students for each student, not the teacher. So you have the option to turn that on or off, depending on what you prefer. And then you have the option to turn on or off multiple choice questions. I would think that you would want to have them on because it's a lot easier to answer questions that way. But it depends, again, how you want your questions or your answers to be noted by your students. All right, so once I've fixed all of that information here, I'm going to come over down to where it says next assignment options, which is going to bring me to my next tab. I get to choose the number of questions I'd like for my race. And here's where I get to select the program. So I'm going to select grade 7. Notice also, I'm just going to go back. You see all of these different topics that you can choose from. Study Island, we do subscribe to Study Island, so we do usually have a lot of this, but you'll notice that there'll be some extra in here because of the pandemic, that Edmentum is opening up other features of study islands, and most of them are topics. Okay, so I'm choosing 7th grade, and I have a choice of math, ELA, or life science. For this video, I'm going to choose math. And now what happens is all of the math student learning standards for New Jersey, all of the topics kind of pop up here in this window that I'm scrolling down on. So these are the topics that the students would be faced with if they went into Study Island and just chose their grade level and math and picked on a topic. So I'm going to look to see what topic I'd like to give my students. Now, if I'm not sure of the types of questions my students will be faced with for any of these topics, I can just come over here to the right side of the screen in the same row as the topic and click on the Q, which is View Questions. So I want to view the questions for symbolize and solve equations, and that'll give me an idea of a few things. Number one, it'll help me understand the types of questions that they will be faced with during this race. But most importantly, it's going to give you an idea of how long students would generally need to answer this question. You don't want to give them too short of a time, and that would negate having this race at all. You want to give them a proper amount of time that you believe they should have in order to answer this question successfully. So also, knowing these types of questions, going back to the first tab, you can also adjust that as well. So I'm going to choose symbolize and solve equations. I like these questions, but I'm going to adjust the time that my students have to answer these questions. But before I do that, I'm going to check the box next to that topic. Now, you could choose more than one topic if you like. There's no limit to how many you want to choose. However, I believe that it's a lot easier to see what your students know with one topic at a time. You can create as many challenges as you'd like, group sessions, but I prefer to do one topic at a time. And I'm highlighting this and I'm doing a Command C to copy it so that I can go back to my general information tab here and paste that right at the beginning of my SpaceRace assignment title. So now I know my students will be taking a space race and the topic that they will be faced with is symbolize and solve equations. And then I'm going to go over here and adjust the time that they have to answer the questions. Give them 2 minutes. And then I'm going to click on 3 classes. So now here's where I get to choose the classes that I want to participate in the space race. Now realize that classes aren't competing against each other. It's only everybody within a class. But if you choose multiple classes, that means that you are assigning this race, this group assignment, to multiple classes. And you could run them at separate times. You could run them together, but students won't be competing against each other in different classes. So I'm going to choose both of my classes here. This list is long because I am logged in as an admin to a school. So an admin is able to see all the classes that their school has within Study Island. And then I just click on save. And now I've created a group session called Space Race with my students for math in 7th grade. Okay, check out our next video on how the students are able to answer the questions and what you see as a teacher or an admin running your challenge. Have a great